my God, that's
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
Oh, Shay, my God. Shay over there like, oh, she coming my way. Yes, yes, yes. I am coming your way. Because a lot of times, the spiritual warfare that we deal with, it's not easy. And people, they be like, I'm going through spiritual warfare. I'm going through spiritual warfare. But a lot of times, some people don't know how to deal with the spiritual warfare that has come upon them, you know. So I know you had some kind of fear, you know. Talks about this in the book, right? Yeah, about fear. What was your biggest fear going into knowing about or dealing with spiritual warfare?
My biggest fear is not having the language. My biggest fear was not knowing all, or as much as I knew possible to be able to help someone. So in that time of dealing with the fear was, I thought that somehow my lack of education in the area will offend my children. It would affect my family. It would affect those who are around me. So I didn't want to put myself in a situation where I put myself right there for that moment, but then I didn't have the knowledge or the capability to help them when I bring it to my home. So my fear was to put them in harm's way. So every time I did see it somewhere, it was where you seemed like the children were being attacked, your home is being attacked, your marriage, you're arguing for no reason, what's going on? And it'd be those little things. So I said, I didn't want to just go and just do that and just be like everyone else. I want to handle it. I want to know something and be ready for whatever this is, so I know what to do when it does come. So I didn't want to be unprepared and felt like I left as a natural, as a nurturer, as a mother. You're a nurturer naturally, even to your husband. You start to nurture him. You become like mother to him. So I don't want to leave him in the wind of the things that I go and touch. And I didn't learn enough to be able to protect him as well, to get into my stance as a warrior.
Wow. Wow. Oh my God. That's so amazing. So now that you're in this position, that you understand being in spiritual warfare as a warrior, what would you tell somebody who is now, you know, not understanding or having the fear that you had? What would be something that you could tell them, you know, because you teach people, just like you have Dr. Lavelle that teaches different things that you glean from. What is a nugget that you could give somebody who is now walking in your shoes of fear and not really being able to understand being a warrior and being in spiritual warfare?
So you come into connections with the strategist would be my answer, right? Or when you're taking that walk, or you're walking with people. See, a lot of times we get into warfare because we feel foolish, because we don't want to know. You don't want to seem like the dummy per se in the room. So you never ask questions. So the worst thing you can do is walk in this walk and be quiet. I was able to get the help after I opened my mouth. I was able to get the help after I wrote it down. I was able to receive that help. So you can't walk this walk and be ashamed at all. Walk this walk and be ashamed about what's to come or what's going to happen or how you'll look to another person. Open your mouth and ask questions. There's nothing wrong. There's never a stupid question in the things of God. And God will place those people around you that will answer you on your level and how you need to hear it. So you can't walk it quietly. You can't walk in it in that sense, because then you walk around and you feeling confused and then you jump yourself ahead of time. Don't walk that walk your speed. Go your speed. Go your flow. Go, you know, and wear some comfortable shoes in the process, because it's a process. You know, sometimes you got to give up your heels if your feet hurt. You know, put the slides on. Just go through that process and walk forward and be able to connect with people and make yourself studious. I can't stretch that enough. I have to be studious. I had to even humble myself to who I thought was my equal, to say, teach me what you know. Humble yourself. Walk yourself. Make yourself comfortable so that you can do and walk this walk so that you'll be able to get to where you're going.
Oh, that's good. Says Dr. Lavelle, back over here to you. Back over here to you. Woman of a lot of wisdom. Now, dealing with the role of intercessor, this is volume 3. What kind of pushed you or nudged you to compile this book with other authors and bring all the knowledge of each individual to bring it together collectively. And also a part B to that, elaborate on the importance of our role as intercessors. Yeah.
It started off as me teaching intercessors the role, the function, and the duty of an intercessor. And so that session was like for 3 days. And in the process of doing so, I had a pastor, Pastor Caesar, came to me and she said, "Apostle, do you have a book on the role of the intercessor?" I said, "You know what? I could write a book." And knowing me, I said, it'll take about 3 days because all I have to do is go back into the notes and just go in and, compile it.
Yeah.
And upon doing so, God said, get co-authors of intercessors that's going to prepare the emerging intercessors. And he said, what you struggle with, therefore they will be able to tell the symbolism, the birthing pains, what it looked like, sound like, and also what weaponry looked like in a sense of the intercessors. So prepare the emerging. So what we tend to do is parallel ourselves to the visionary or the pioneers before us, and we get trapped in their time because before you know it, we sound like them, look like them, we find ourselves fighting a war that has nothing to do with us. And then we could be fighting a war that's outwardly, but in reality is an inward war because it's generationally. So he says, so prepare the emerging intercessors by symbolism, birth and pain. What does it look like? The mantle, Issachar anointing, what Hannah's anointing is, in a sense, so that now they could see themselves, but they could be meshed with who they are. This is what's happening to me. This is what I'm dealing with. This is what's relating. And so with that, we had the group of the first book, which is the role of the intercessors. It was 16 of us. And then I thought I was done. He said, no, then we're dealing with the strategist. The strategist is a tactician, the war tactician. They are trapped. They're ancient warriors, but they're using modern tactics to fight an ancient war. So he said they have to know that they have to be not only comfortable in their skin, but a lot of them are fighting a forward war, but in reality they have to go back in generations to cut, nip, and overthrow and cut at the root, so it doesn't trickle down into the future. So with that, we got voices on it. We assemble strategists to now prepare the tactician, the modern day warriors, as to who they are. Because as warriors, we tend to fight with our, when I say weaponry of prayers and worship, but in reality, as we all grow and we master self-discipline, our weaponry changes. But we don't do that. We just keep the same weaponry. And so after that, he gave me volume 3, which is dealing with the eyes of the revelator. God gave me that word, and the more he gives it to me, the more I was ministering to it. And I said, you know what, let's turn this into a book, dealing with the seers. And then here they come. After we finished this assignment, God said, now deal with the scribes. I said, so now we're on to volume 4. So I thought I was done. But as I put it out there, he's just gathering the voices, the sound, the height, the depth of him, and as they come, they're mantled and they're weighty and they're meaty and they're full of substance, and God is just drawing out of them to pour into a next generation. And this book has crossed over into international territories, and it's already touching minds and hearts, places that we haven't even stepped into. The book has transcended there.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Oh, my God. I mean, and that's so powerful when God gives you something that can just not just impact just us, but impact generations to come and nations of people, That's so amazing. Oh, my God, I'm really enjoying this. Sandra! The whooper stepper. Listen, I know that there are some kind of keys that you can give them or us, in our strategic way of interceding. Excuse me. What are some nuggets that you would give to us to glean from? You know, knowledge is power. Don't y'all think so? Yeah, knowledge is power.
First, you have to be comfortable in your own skin. You got to know your identity, what level and what intercessor are you. We have many intercessors.
Come on,
are you a covenant intercessors?
That's good.
Like I know with this woman of God, you got to know what you carry. You cannot carry nothing that you are unfamiliar with.
Oh, that's good.
Come on. I know who I am. I am a warrior. I'm a prophetic intercessor. I know I can, and you can operate more than one, but you got to be comfortable operate in the one you need to learn and glean for you jump into something else. Because when you go into warfare, you start dealing with witches and warlocks. Come on here. The Ahabs and Jezebel and these Delilah spirits, can you handle it? So you're not fit and suited and booted for the camp. Don't you get in something that you don't know what you're getting into. I can't lay in 2 minutes you laying hands on people that you ain't even delivered for already. Your hands got to be clean. Your spirit, hallelujah, needs to be clean. Come on. And stop and be obedient and be comfortable with what you lacking in. Come on. If it's not yours, you need to tell the truth. This is not my area. I'm not scared to say this. Look here, I'm a warfare intercessor. I'm not strong. It's not a government intercessor. Come on, I know some government intercessors. I know some financial intercessors. Let me call that person and be okay directing them to them instead of trying to burp yourself in a region and doing stuff that you don't have no business putting your hands on.
Oh my God!
So if you don't get that straight, you're gonna be a lost soul in your own identity, and you will not move, and you're going to be putting your hands and you're going to pick up something that you cannot get rid of.
Well, I had to say a well on that, Doctor. You want to add anything on that?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. Cause
also, not only being comfortable in your skin, but knowing how God uses you, because He will use you in a unique way. But if you're not accepting or embracing the way God uses you, you will continue to compare, compete, and keep looking for an outward appearance to reflect your imagery, looking for a mirror effect of who you are. So you will strive to be effective, but be ineffective because you're not connected with who you are. Also, as an intercessor, you cannot do it alone. You have got to partner with heaven. You have got to partner with heaven. You and heaven work together as a team.
Good.
So what heaven releases is what you move in. What heaven speaks is what you move in. And the realm of dimension in which He allows you to walk in your sphere of influence. So you have got to partner with heaven. Also, as an intercessor, isolation not only refines and enhances you, but it also kills you.
Yes.
Because you can get accustomed to your own sound of your voice, that when you become when you get with your tribe, you'll get lost. Your sound will get lost. So continually search for sound of eternity. Anything that echoes the sound of God. Get with other intercessors so you will not only grow, but you will also be thrust forward. And because you need not only one to cover you, but also to support you, you also being a team player. So you have to work together.
Oh, that's good.
You have to learn, because when God speaks to you, He speaks to them. And everybody has a part. Everybody has a role, and we all have a duty, and we all have an assignment, and we all have a mandate. And when the oil comes together, we become a heavier weight, a grade of the oil.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Oh my God. I'm over here just like. Let me tell y'all something. We got to learn how, even as intercessors, know our place and our position. I mean, that's very important. Listen, you guys, listen to this. This is very, very good, because a lot of times we are out of our place. We're trying to operate in a place that we shouldn't be operating in, and you wonder why your head is getting tore off, because you I'm gonna leave that one alone. Sure. But I mean that's true. You know, I'm back over here with how yeah, I think I was going on into the question I was finna talk to you. I got excited. Doc had got me excited over here. But anyway, what would you try to tell somebody or encourage somebody, you know, on that note of trying to stay in their lane, since you deal with spiritual warfare as a warrior, because that's a heavy place to be in.
I mean, like they were saying, you have to know your place. That's all is really what I was talking about in my chapter, to be honest, was trying to find my place, trying to find my role, trying to find, you know, myself. So you have to be okay and comfortable with, you know, the role and the position that you may be in, you know, and just be okay with it. A lot of people want to get their hands into everything, into every cookie jar. Don't put your hand into everything. Yeah. You don't need to be in everything. You need to learn, learn some things so that you'll be able to get what you need, get what you possess, get all these things, because that's what's important. That's what's really important. So we go into things, and what God started to make me, how he got me ready, was be trained to go. Be trained to go. Listen to what he's telling you individually. So I had to start, like I said, you turn in your heels. I turned my heels in for boots. I had to be ready to go. I had to be ready for one day being comfortable trying to find a place to live in the Bronx, New York, and to down moving to Houston, Texas. So I was already, he was training me a long time ago. So if you really look over and open up your eyes, you will see that you were being trained many days and many moons ago before this even came along. Wow. If you start to, you know, pay attention. So you have to, I would encourage you to pay attention to your past. Go start to look, sit with God, sit in the presence of God and look back. He's been training me. I've always been the type of person that would get up and move. I've always been the type of person that would be ready to go. And we look at it as war in real time. They have to sit at a location, and when they're about to get hit, they gotta go. So you have to be trained to go. He told me TTG, that's what they tell you, TTG, that's trained to go. So you have to be trained to go, you have to be ready to go, then which means you have to be flexible. So if you're not going to be willing to be flexible as a warfare intercessor, then it's, you know, stay a little longer, stay on your face a little longer, get yourself prepared a little longer, because if you're not getting yourself prepared up in that place, you're going to really mess up. You're going to feel undone, you're going to feel scared, you're going to feel threatened, you're going to feel, like you said, you lose your voice in a room. I felt like that. I get to a place where I know I'm loud, I know I got a big voice, but it was taken. It would just sit back in a room, and it's just like, I know something is in you. There's something in you. There's going to be a lot of y'all where somebody going to say, there's something in you sitting there. You don't even know what they're talking about. And then you start to realize, I have a voice. I have a voice. I have a voice. I need to say what needs to be said. This needs to be done. It has to be done. And when you get to that point, you know, okay, I made it, and now be ready to go. Be ready to go out. Be ready to do what God says. Warfare isn't easy, no way or another. You know, it's not easy. It's never an easy thing doing the things of God. But you just have to be willing and be ready to go.
Wow. I mean, this is, oh my God, this it can be another part too to this here. This is just so good. Dr. Lavelle, if people wanted to get in contact with you or even order, you know, the book, what is your information that you can give that people will be able to get in contact?
Sure.
You know.
Mm-hmm. The book is called The Role of the Intercessor, Volume 1, 2, and 3. You can find it on Amazon.com, just The Role of the Intercessor, Volume 1, 2, and 3, or my website is LavellaMcGarry.com. LavellaMcGarry.com. And each co-author has their own page that they could just go right to their website or their page and purchase their book if they wanted to personally contact a co-author to have their book signed, or just even to just share, just a time to just reflect. Hey, I'm dealing with something. Yes. What's your thoughts? So what's your impression on this?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Wow. I mean, the time just fly by so fast. Dr. Lavelle, what would be the one thing that you would encourage any intercessor right now, you know, with things that's going on? What would be the one thing that you would encourage them on?
That the very thing that they neglect is what God uses in the earth realm. your positioning in the earth realm, even your stance, your position, your posture, even the sound that changes the stratosphere now changes the atmosphere, even when you're shaking and you think it's so simplicity or in simplicity or doesn't make sense, it's the same thing, the frequency that changes the vibration and yet make it go from heat to rain, from a drought to the over an abundance. The very thing that you think is that you neglect is the very tool that God uses to shift things in the atmosphere.
Wow. I want to thank my special guests, Dr. Lavelle, Zandra, and Shay on tonight. And remember, don't stop until you what? Break free.